What goes through your mind in a shootout game like that? Is it just we got to get the one stop, we got to get one more?
You know, it's really at that point it's about going out and just getting a stop. Shootouts like that are never fun, and they always hurt, especially when you take a minute to think about them. But in the game, you're always just thinking about, get a stop, get a stop, get a stop. You don't really think about anything else, and so ultimately, that's the mindset, and that's what happened. Well, a couple times we got some stops when it was critical, but we didn't do it throughout the whole game, and that's where we had our issues.
Talk about the seniors on this team. I mean, not the way you want to send them out, but talk about what they meant to you in this team.
I tell you what, those guys are irreplaceable. I mean, I know we say that every year, but I really mean that. I mean, the three guys we got in the D-line room, their knowledge, experience, and just honestly the people they are and the people that like the person they are, that's who I want to be around outside of football. That's who I want to associate myself with. It's not just a football thing. I'd give my whole life to those guys, every single one of them, and I love them all equally. And hats off to them. I've spent 2 years with Zeke, one with the other two, but I tell you what, they all have a special place in my heart, and if they ever need anything, they know exactly where I'm going to be.
You mentioned the struggles on critical downs. What did they present offensively that gave you guys such problems and had you guys on the back foot?
Ultimately, I think I said it. I think it comes down to execution. Because, like I said before, I don't think they ran anything that was different or anything we hadn't seen before or anything we didn't prepare for. I think it was just we didn't execute well, and they hit us in the spots that we didn't fill.
What did you see on that final fourth down play that they presented and were able to convert and back from there?
We all knew the game was on the line right there, and but I didn't see anything that, like I said, all game long, it was stuff that we had prepared for, stuff that we knew was going to happen, and so I just think ultimately it comes down to execution and people making plays.
Obviously, they lose Baker Mayfield from a year ago, and they replace him with a guy like Kyler Murray who can run, he can pass, he can do everything. Talk about what he did out there and just how great of a player he is.
Like I just said this before, hats off to him. I mean, it's a really special thing to have a dual sport athlete. You see very few, and guys like Bo Jackson. I mean, who else can you think of? That can actually do it. So, but like I said, hats off to him. Because he's a phenomenal player. I'll never take anything away from him. But I think it was a team effort and a collective effort that beat us, to be honest with you. I don't think it was one person's greater than 11. I don't. That's not me. That's not our defense. So it's a team effort. I think that he did the things that we had prepared for. They did exactly what we anticipated, but they just executed it. We didn't.
How scary is it to maybe think that he's even better at baseball than he is at football? Because he was the 9th pick in the draft.
You know what? I don't really think about baseball too much because football is my sport.
Yeah.
But now that you put it that way, that's impressive.
And obviously an offensive guy, maybe not around it as much, but William Crest, the guy that a lot of people don't talk about. He's moved from quarterback to receiver, hasn't played a lot, but you always see him talking to fans after the games and never once heard him complain. I'll just talk about him and how great of a teammate and representative he's been.
Let me tell you what, if I had to talk about one guy that is the classiest, best personality, class act, it would be Will Crest. I mean, he has had so much adversity and he's handled it so well, and you never, ever, ever hear him speak negativity. I mean, I've never once in playing 3 years with him, I've never heard him speak negativity, not once. Not about himself, not about this team, and it didn't matter what role he was in. He always filled it, and he exceeded the expectation for it. He's one of those people that I would absolutely aspire to be like. I mean, I want to be like Will Crest because he's such a phenomenal leader, such a phenomenal person. I mean, he is outstanding.